Who knows what tricks Coach Shook has up his sleeve as we enter the second round of the AHSAA playoffs. Hey everyone, I'm Bill Lacomb and welcome back to another edition of Patriot Weekly. First off, I want to say a huge thank you to my friend Jason Ispel for filling in for me last week while I spent a little time with my family. A big thanks to Dogwood Media Solutions for hosting our tapings every week, and to Brian Harris, who produces and edits Patriot Weekly behind the scenes. Of course, none of this would be possible without our amazing sponsors, Brantley Bank and the shops at East Chase. Whether you're buying your first home, starting a business, or saving for the future, Brantley Bank is proud to support the Pike Road Patriots. Local people, local banking, Brantley Bank, your hometown bank with big-time service. Find everything you need this holiday season at the shops at East Chase. From dining and fashion to family fun and local events, the shops at East Chase, where Montgomery comes to shop. All right, y'all, it's playoff time and the Patriots are rolling. Coming up, we got Coach Shook joining us to break down last week's win over McGill-Toolen and what's ahead against Bessemer City. Stay with us. You're watching Patriot Weekly, and it starts right now.
Every week, the Pike Road Patriots chase greatness under Friday Night Lights. And we bring you inside the huddle each week, right here at Dogwood Studios in Pike Road. This is Patriot Weekly with Coach Granger Shook, with your host Bill Lacomb. Presented by Brantley Bank and the shops at East Chase. Let's talk Pike Road football.
The Lord is giving us an opportunity to show how bad we want it. It's going to come down to who wants it the most. That's what it's going to come down to. We've been here before. We've been here before. We're about to take this opening kickoff, and we're about to put it in the end zone. But y'all got to believe it. Guys, we're better than them. We're better than how we're playing. And let's go walk the dog on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's go make it out. Win on three. 1, 2, 3.
Hey everybody, welcome back, Patriot Nation. We have Coach Shook in the house as usual to unpack a little bit about our big win over McGill-Toolen, playoff round 1 win. Pike Road defeats McGill-Toolen 28-10. Big night, Coach. I could go over some stats. We'll get to those in a minute, but we'll just jump right in. Well, that was a statement win over a really good McGill-Toolen team, as we know. What stood out most to you about how your guys played, man?
Man, we talked about all week about their competitive stamina.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have not played a 4-quarter game in a long time. And so I knew going into that game, just from the people I knew down in Mobile and the staff, we talked last week about my relationship with that staff.
Sure.
And I knew how they coach, and I knew, the things they emphasize is what we emphasize. And so I knew that McGill was a really good football team.
Oh, yeah.
And they were very physical. They were big. They were fast. They were very, very well coached. And so I was just very, very proud of how we played for 4 quarters. Proud of our defense, played 4 quarters really very, very well. Our offense, took some time to kind of get in the groove, but
Sure.
but once they did, we were able to put up some points. And so I was very pleased, really, with both sides of the ball.
Sure. Let's talk about offense. While we're chatting here, let's talk right about Gunnar Gibbs. He looked sharp again.
Yes.
7 for 13, 81 yards, a touchdown. For a sophomore, he's super efficient here. How have you seen his leadership and his poise develop this season, man?
Well, again, he's becoming more vocal.
Yeah.
He is. He's becoming more vocal on the practice field, which is something that we've all challenged and encouraged him to do. And again, I think our team's doing a great job of responding to him. He's being a sophomore and playing his 6A level is not the easiest
That's
thing.
big boy ball, yeah, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So again, for him to do the things that he's doing and being, as you stated, as efficient as he is very promising, not only for the duration of this season, but for several years to come.
Yeah. We'll continue with offense here. One of our guests we have coming on here in just a little bit, Jordan Holmes. Another highlight reel kind of night, man. This guy's stellar. 10 rushes for 86 yards, a touchdown, 3 catches for 56 yards, a touchdown there, 145 yards all purpose, man. This dude, he's a walking highlight reel. All that being said, what does his versatility add to your offense, man?
Oh, well, we're able to line him up really at any position. He's lined up quarterback, running back, wide out. And so he's so versatile. Him and other players, Omari's very similar to him as well. And then, Braylon Outlaw's lined up at running back. He's lined up at quarterback, so there's several guys like, him and Jermichael. There's just so many, pieces that our staff's done an excellent job with of, having them on the field, but you don't know where they'll be, which makes it very, very hard for an opposing defense. And so proud that our guys have been able to execute at a high level and really understand and remember what all they had to do. They're a very coachable group of kids.
Yeah, that's everything, coachable. And like you said, remember everything that they have to do because they can use plug and play, really anybody at any time, So, all that being said, I also want to talk about Jermichael Jones. So this guy's so consistent week after week after week. It's amazing. And I just want to mention him because I feel like sometimes we don't talk about him enough because he does such a great job.
He does.
But moving on, let's talk about Braylon a little bit. He's also in the studio today. He continues to shine on both sides of the ball. Everything he does, he's got the Midas touch, man. How valuable is his two-way ability to the team, man?
Oh, it's huge. Anytime you can have your leaders on the field, whether it's on offense or defense, I think our team responds the right way. So having guys like Braylon and Jordan and Jermichael and Miles and Omar Polo Smith on the field, on offense and defense, it gives the coaching staff a little comfort knowing that hey, if something's not going right, there's a leader out there to kind of rein it in and help communicate, the calls and just making sure everybody's lined up and doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, man. Our defense played with just this relentless brutality like they always do. 17 players recorded tackles, multiple guys in double digits. What does that depth mean as you advance in the playoffs? Because you ain't slowing down. You guys are like you're starting better, man.
Well, it's something that as an offensive coordinator is tough. If you have one or two guys that are really, leading the team in tackles in a dramatic fashion, you kind of can isolate them or get them away. But when it's when it's pretty consistent across the board, that anybody in that box can make a play, you're kind of hamstrung in what you can do. And so really, really proud of our defensive line. I thought they played well all night. I thought our backers, Jermichael and Quentin Robinson, Braylon and Miles, I thought those four guys played really well as also. And so proud of their growth and development, really on both sides of the ball.
Q's another guy that I feel like we don't talk about enough. He's consistent as well. Just every time we turn around, he's doing something good and just keeps the wheel going, Let's switch gears, talk about Connor Hall for a minute, man. I'm a big Connor Hall fan, y'all, okay? So look, perfect on extra points, and this dude even picked up a tackle, man. You saw that, I'm sure you did. So what does it mean to you to get that kind of hustle from your kicker, man?
That was great. It was great. That's something that we don't really work with him or Camden on.
No.
We try to, keep those other 10, have them on the field to do the dirty work.
Yeah.
But really proud of Connor and Camden really all season. Those guys have gotten better. Those guys have done what we've asked them to do.
Yeah.
And again, here in the last 2 seasons, we've won several playoff games on field goal or extra points. So they understand the expectation, and they have done a great job of meeting that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, gotta love other kickers, man.
No,
absolutely.
So
just getting serious for a sec, Coach. What was your message to the team in the locker room right after that win? What did you go in and say to them, man?
I was just really, really excited to do that because it's hard to win playoff games.
It is. Yeah.
It is very hard, and you know, I don't want our players, I don't want our fans, I don't want our community just to take it for granted.
No.
You know what I mean? And so if we're not careful, you know, then our players and our fans might, you know, and so there's only 16 teams left right now, you know, and so only 32 make it to the playoffs. There's 16 left.
Wow.
And so again, I just want our whole community to understand how you know, how hard our boys have worked, and I want to remind our boys how hard they've worked. And anytime you get to beat a team, especially of the caliber of McGill-Toolen, I want them to be able to celebrate it. Yeah. So I praise several guys after the game. I praise the staff. I praise the team as a whole. You know, just reminding them how hard it is to do what they just did.
Yeah. When do you turn the page then from going, we're celebrating, now let's get locked in and focus again? When does that happen for you?
You know, typically, I try to give our players Saturday off.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and so, but I do bring them in on Sundays after church.
Sure.
And that's when we kind of say, okay, great job, but these are some issues that we must address.
Yep.
And then we'll watch film, we'll work out, we'll run, and then we'll turn the page to our next opponent.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, Coach, congrats. Huge win. Congrats to you, the staff, the players, so many people that contribute so much to these big wins. And you're right, beating McGill-Toolen ain't easy, man. So coming up, Bessemer City, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But also we're going to have senior superstars Jordan Holmes, Braylon Outlaw in the studio. I love having these guys in there, so fun. But you don't want to miss it. Stay put. Patriot Weekly. We'll be right back, y'all.
This week's Patriot Weekly is proudly brought to you by Brantley Bank, your community partner in Pike Road. I'm Ray Kaiser, your Town of Pike Road president. We're located right outside Public on Vaughn Road. At Brantley Bank, we're built on hospitality. We make banking easy, local, and welcoming. So whether you're saving for something special, managing your business account, looking to make a loan, or just stopping by on the way home from the store, Brantley Bank is right here for our Pike Road community, bringing hometown pride to the end zone.
Patriot Nation, welcome back. As promised, in the house, Jordan Holmes, one of my favorite players, of course. Second time being in the studio, but he's so good you got to have him in 2 times to talk about how awesome this season's been. So let me just do a quick recap, and then we'll go to you, Coach. 86 rushes, 56 receptions, 3 punt returns, over 1,000 total yards on the season, 10 rushes, 86 yards, a touchdown, 3 receptions. Look, I could go on and on. Committed to Kennesaw State, selected for the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, December 13th in Hattiesburg, by the way. And this kid also plays basketball with that season starting next week. Man, that's a lot, Coach.
It is.
Tell us about him, man.
It is. Well, I mean, not only is he excellent on the field, you know, and on the court,
Yeah.
he's just a great young man.
He is.
So been again, him and Braylon are two of the best players that I've had the privilege of coach, but they're also just excellent young men, and so they've done a great job leading this team, and had an excellent game last week. Both of them got in the end zone, made great plays on both sides of the ball. I know Jordan had a long run against McGill to get us on the board. Then he had a very big interception. You know, that help keep momentum on our side. So again, just can't say enough good things about this guy.
Yeah, I know it. Great family, high character, man. We love this kid, and I love that everything that he brings to the table. So Jordan, let's jump right into some Q&A, man. So you crossed the 1,000-yard mark, like I just talked about. What does that milestone mean for you, man? That's a big deal.
It means a lot. You know, I wouldn't be able to do it without my coaches, my teammates. So, you know, that's not a milestone for me, but for me and my teammates, you know, for them to help me achieve this, you know, milestone.
Yeah, man, absolutely. We'll talk about Friday night real quick. I kind of rushed through this, but I want to take a minute to talk about this. 10 rushes, 86 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 receptions, 56 yards and a touchdown versus McGill-Toolen. I want to make sure that I was clear there. So clearly that was huge. With all those yards and that spectacular touchdown catch that we all saw, and it was fantastic, man. We were like, man, this is wonderful. That was prime time. Walk us through that play if you could. That was huge.
You know, 3rd down, you know, Braylon had a run. We thought we had the 1st down, but we got a penalty, so they backed us up there. And you know, we were too far out of field goal territory. So somebody had to make a play, and I feel hot in that moment. I'm glad that coach never trusts me to make a play in that moment.
Yeah, man. When Gunner let go of that ball, man, it was just it seemed like it was just up there forever. And then you grabbed it and you rolled, man. And we were like, this dude still has it, man. It was awesome to see that. Exciting, Coach. What were you thinking, man, when you saw that?
Well, I mean, you know, in crucial situations, you don't really think of plays, you think of players. And so we're just making sure you get your guys the ball Jordan's right. Braylon had an excellent run. The play before got the first down, but an unfortunate call had us backed up. So then we went in the other direction, and so we were able to get in the end zone again. But again, our O-line did a great job of giving Gunner time. Gunner made an excellent throw, and Jordan made a spectacular catch. Yeah, so was able to really seal the deal there.
So we saw Kennesaw State sending a shout out for the beginning of the playoffs, which is awesome. Still feeling good about heading there next season?
Yes, I love where I'm going.
Yeah, I love it. I'm sure they love having you there too, man. So we're excited to be able to watch you play there too, man. Absolutely. Just wanted to check in on some recruiting there. Okay, you were named to the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. What does that honor mean, and how cool was it to share it with Miles Cottrey, man?
It's a big honor.
Yeah.
I'm glad I get to share it with somebody I play with. Seeing that people outside of who I know trust in me and believes and see something in me, that's really a big milestone for me. And I wouldn't be able to do it without my teammates, my coaches, my family friend. So I thank you to everybody who helped me achieve that.
That's right, man. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you make it pretty easy for us to see and believe in you, that's for sure. What's been the biggest growth for you as a player since we talked back in like episode 2, I think it was?
Being more vocal as a leader, not caring about, you may hurt your brother's feelings, but go back and apologize and get on the same level as your teammates, being more vocal, holding people accountable, all that fouls to the same line, as being a leader. And Coach Shook and Pastor Quinn, all them, they helped me be the best leader I can be.
Yeah. Coach, what? Flip that one over to you. Yeah. What do you think has been his biggest growth area from back to episode 2 to now?
Well, again, I think we've been able to evolve on both sides of the ball. Yeah. And Jordan and Braylon are both key parts in that. And not only have they grown and stretched themselves really on the field, but like Jordan said, off the field, in the weight room, in the classroom, and the locker room as well, just helping hold younger players accountable, still keeping the main thing like he says, which is having fun with each other, making sure that we grow closer together, and loving on one another, and like we say, love and always a hug. So these older players have really done an excellent job here later in the year of getting out of their comfort zone and leading the right way.
Let's talk about Bessemer City here. So as a leader, okay, we talked a lot about leadership here. How do you, I guess, once you win a game, it's almost like it's a high, then it's a drop again. You know what I mean? Then you got to kind of ramp that back up for the next round. So as a leader, how do you keep yourself, but also your team with that same momentum as you get ready for Bessemer City, man? How do you do that as a leader, man?
That all goes back to make the main thing, stay level-headed.
There you go.
Teaching myself and the young players not to get too high, not to get too low. And like Coach Shook always says, some teams go down, some teams go up. And me and my leaders, we always want to make sure we go up.
That's right. Always make sure you kind of got that upward trajectory there, So, before we close out, Jordan, I want to certainly tell you just on behalf of myself, but also, Patriot Weekly, Pike Road Live, it has been a pleasure watching you play this year, man. Just seeing you grow and just knowing every single time that you get the ball, man, it has been electric. Look, Braylon Outlaw in the house next. We're going to chat with him. Lots to talk about with him as well. Stay put. We'll be right back, y'all.
I'm Granger Shook, head football coach for your Pike Road Patriots. I want to give a big thank you to the shops at East Chase, Montgomery's premier shopping destination, for supporting Pike Road football and sponsoring Patriot Weekly. Just like we bring our best to the field every Friday night, East Chase brings the best in shopping, dining, and family fun to our community.
Check out all the stores East Chase offers online, and when you visit them, thank them for supporting your Pike Road Patriots.
Go Patriots!
Hey everybody, welcome back. Look who I got. Braylon Outlaw in the studio, y'all. Second time we've had him in, and actually, I think it's third time we've had you in, huh? This guy's been on this show more than I have, but he's a stud. He's an awesome player, so we're excited to always have him back in at any time. So real quick, Coach, I'm going to go to you in a second, but 39 yards rushing, 5 receiving, 66-yard INT for a touchdown. That was awesome. 11 tackles. You led the team, by the way. These are all stats from Friday night, but he plays both sides of the ball, DB and RB. Man, what do you not do? Coach, brag on this guy, man.
I can't say enough good things about Braylon. Yeah. Again, he had. Again, his play on the defensive side has been stellar all year. Hey, again, we've asked him to play a little running back here this last several weeks, and he has just really exploded. He had a huge touchdown on offense the other night. And he really broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage and broke several more tackles before he got in the end zone. So again, his vision, his explosiveness, and his power, man, it's very evident on Friday night. And then again, he made an excellent play on the ball. That pick six he had really sealed the deal for us to beat a really good and talented McGill team. Indeed. But again, not only his play on the field, but again, he's another great leader for us. He really is. His future is very bright. That's sport. He's going to be playing for a very long time, and I'm just proud and thankful that he's a Patriot.
Oh man, I absolutely thankful this guy's on our team. Yeah, it's funny. I'll share with you guys. We get to watch the instant replay, and whenever you run in for touchdowns, just how you go and just you're bowling through these guys. We rewind that, watch that over and over, and we're just like, oh man, because it's so fun to watch you do your thing, man. All right, so look, you've been lining up more on offense. We talked about that with Coach there. How's that transition been for you? You're great on defense, but then you're also showing out on offense too. How do you do it, man?
It's been a good transition. It get a little tiring here and there, but it's something I can handle. So it's been pretty smooth.
Gotcha. Very, very good. We got to talk about that. The interception, the 66-yard return. Walk us through that if you can, as much as you can. Walk us through your mindset and as it all transpired. We are dying to know. Tell us, man.
Really just a start. It was just I knew it was a point in the game. A play just had to be made, and then once I made the play, I just knew that was it was just a nip in the bud at that point for the game. That was a big play in that game.
Yeah. When you're running it back to what we've asked before, when you're running something like that back, does it just get quiet? You just get focused, or what are you hearing in during all that?
For me, it kind of gets quiet.
Yeah.
On that long run, it kind of gets quiet. Yeah.
I bet. Just everything shuts down. You just get it done. Coach, what are you thinking? Whenever you see him do that, are you just like freaking out? What's the deal?
Well, I mean, again, we had some tendencies on him, and Braylon's a student of the game, and so we had an idea that something was going to come to his side.
Yeah.
And thankfully it did. I don't know why they threw the number 5 side, but fortunately enough they did. And so he was able to make a play, and kind of like I said about Jordan, in big time situations, you think of players and not plays, or balls or schemes or anything like that. Just try to get your players to where you think the ball may be going. And fortunate enough for us, he was there and he was able to break and make an excellent play.
He was, absolutely. So scoring points, but let's also talk about tackling that. Like I said before, you led the team in tackles too. Huge, man. How do you manage to stay so effective on both sides of the ball? Being so physical as well. How do you stay that effective, man? How do you do that?
I feel like it really just starts with my mindset. Knowing what I have to do coming into the game. My preparation before the game, I know what I have to do. So when it comes game time, I'm already mentally ready.
Just flip the switch and get it done. I love that. Coach, anything you want to say about this guy?
Well, it comes to that. Yeah, and he's like I said, he's a student of the game. But I mean, how he prepares Sunday through Thursday is really what separates him and our other guys from our opponents. He's very businesslike, which is what I really like about him, and again, he takes no prisoners on that field. When he's out there, he's 100 miles an hour, 100%. And again, he is a fun one to coach. He's one of the best players I've been around.
Yeah. One of the best players and one of the best defenses in this state. What a lot of people would say, the best defense in the state, full stop. So how would you describe the mindset of this high-powered defense right now heading into round 2? Just as a leader of that defense, speak for them and where their heads are at right now.
I would just say hungry. We're a hungry defense.
There you go.
We've had a lot of setbacks in the past few seasons. A lot of us, because it's really a lot of us have played together the past few seasons. So we're really just hungry and keep want to get better each and every week.
That's right, man. Always looking for that dub, right? Yeah. And I'll ask you the same thing I asked Jordan here. Again, you got those. You peak with the win, and then come Monday morning or even Saturday morning, it's time to start looking ahead for the next week. How do you mentally keep yourself prepared, but also the entire team prepared and ready to go for that next opponent with it being such a huge week of the playoffs, man? How do you do that?
For me, I would say just knowing what's ahead of me already and knowing what we have to go through. So when it gets to that point, I'm already ready. And as for the team, it's just making sure they're not looking too far ahead or they're not dwelling on the last game.
There you go.
We're focusing on what's in front of us.
I like that. Not dwelling on the past, but not getting too high on looking at the future. Coach, your final thoughts on that, man?
Well, I mean, I just think that Braylon said it well. I mean, again, the team's going to go how our leaders go. Their mentality and their attitude is really going to be, pending on how these guys respond. And so I'm proud of how they've responded to this point. I don't see that changing. And so I'm excited that we get another opportunity to play this coming up Friday night. And again, I do want to say I think Braylon, even though he is recognized in this area, I do think he's one of the most underrated players in our state.
Oh,
100%. He has set himself apart on the biggest stages against 7A teams, against 6A teams, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
We agree with you. Speaking of that, I said the same thing to Jordan. We'll say the same thing to you, man. Honor watching you play this season, big dog. Every time the ball hits your hands, it's electric. You know what I mean? Whether I see somebody who's got the ball and I see you coming at him, I almost want to turn my head because I can't even look because I see what's coming, So, but on behalf of, again, myself, Patriot Weekly, the whole community, congratulations. It has been our truest honor watching you play your senior season. We still got more work to do, but again, in case I can't get you back on the studio, I'm going to tell you right now, we're super proud of you, man. You got it, man. Our pleasure. All right, y'all. We'll be right back. We're going to catch up with Shook about Bessemer City coming up, and we'll see what's happening. So stay put. Lots more to come.
This week's Patriot Weekly is proudly brought to you by Brantley Bank, your community partner in Pike Road. I'm Ray Kaiser, your town of Pike Road president. We're located right outside Public on Vaughn Road. At Brantley Bank, we're built on hospitality. We made banking easy, local, and welcoming. So whether you're saving for something special, managing your business account, looking to make a loan, or just stopping by on the way home from the store, Brantley Bank is right here for our Pike Road community, bringing hometown pride to the end zone.
Patriot Nation, welcome back. Coach Shook back in the studio here to take a look at Bessemer City here on the horizon for Game 2 of our playoffs. Home game, Friday, 7 p.m. A little bit about Bessemer City. They beat Helena 24-7 in round 1. Okay.
Sure.
They have one loss this season against Hueytown. They have a freshman quarterback. Young team overall from what we can tell, but a strong defense, typically allowing 1 to 2 touchdowns per game. So, Coach, after all that being said, what stands out to you about their style of play?
Well, they're very fast. They're a very athletic football team.
Yeah.
They had a big injury to their starting quarterback early in the year.
Yeah.
So, that was very unfortunate for them, but they have their staff has done an excellent job of rallying the troops, and they have gotten better each and every week.
Yeah.
They play a very tough schedule up in that Birmingham region, and so they're going to be very prepared coming down here to Pike Road. So again, each round is going to get more and more difficult. The teams get better and better.
Yeah.
And so again, it's going to be a tough challenge, but they are big up front. They are fast on the second and third levels on defense. Their quarterback is a freshman, but he is a very good athlete. And so they have a running back who can take it the distance. If we miss a tackle, it's going to be hard to catch him. So we have to do a great job, have assignment football, be more disciplined than we were last week. I think last week we had too many penalties, but so we can't do that again. But I feel like we've had a good week of prep, and so I think our boys will be ready for the challenge.
100%. We talked about the freshman quarterback. You just mentioned it again.
Yep.
How do you prepare the defense for that kind of matchup with a green quarterback like that?
Well, we have to do a great job on the back end. You know what I mean? Making sure that we're lined up where we're supposed to line up. Making sure that pre-snap where we're supposed to be, and then post-snap our eyes are where they're supposed to be. We can't be looking in the backfield. But again, it starts with our defensive line. If we can get pressure rushing 3, if we can get pressure rushing 4, flush the quarterback off his spot if it's a throwing down, and then our backers can basically rally to the ball. But we on early down and distance where it's a primary run situation, our D-line and linebackers have to be very gap sound.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we got to focus on this week.
Yeah, very gap sound. I like that. Switching over to offense, what's going to be the key to moving the ball against the defense? They're also stout as well.
Yeah.
They're only giving up minimal points as well. So what's the key to playing against the defense, man?
It always starts up front with our O-line. I was proud of them last week. Again, started slow last week versus a very good McGill team. It's going to be a very good Bessemer team. So I want us to start faster on offense. I got full faith that, Tommy Braden and King and Sam and T.O. and VJ and crew, those guys up front, have had a good week of practice. Yeah. So I'm expecting them to come out and be disciplined and play assignment ball. And then, our running backs should be able to hold on to the football and let's make sure that we fall forward for yards and not fall back.
There we go.
And so Gunner's done a good job to this point. Finding space early, pre-snap, finding his open grass, pre-snap, finding the matchups he likes, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that trend.
Mm-hmm. Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was you that said at this point of the season you're either getting worse or you're getting better. Did you say that? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like our team's just getting better, man. I mean, just watching them play, I don't see any regression at all. And whether it's Gunner, whether it's anybody, like I said, even our kickers we talked about. So it's good to see that. I'm not sure if you heard, Coach, but last week's broadcast, there was a little bit of a delay with us getting online. Okay. So with all that being said, I think the fans are going to be ready to show up. Okay.
Good.
So what does that home crowd energy mean for the team? Does that really mean something when everybody shows up like that?
It does. It was, our boys really, really feed off them.
Yeah, good.
And I want to encourage Pike Road to please come to the game, and when you're there, please cheer loud.
There you go.
Our cheerleaders, our band does a great job of getting loud on third downs, but really need the fans to be loud, not only between the plays, but during the play, because our band is supposed to stop during the play.
Sure.
Sometimes they do, sometimes.
That's right. I was working good touch on
if our fans can really show up and be loud for our boys, because our boys work very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I know they'll be there. And so I'm excited about this Friday night.
Yeah. And that's a message to the Patriot Nation there. Again, if the band's got to be quiet, you don't. So get loud, be proud, and I wish I could be down there as a cheerleader, to get everybody going and get everybody fired up. Our cheerleaders do a great job. They do. You're wrong, but again, just that extra something. So I personally, along with Coach Shook, challenging everybody to be loud, real loud, come this Friday night at Patriot Park there. Sorry, Coach, getting serious about our last question here. How's the focus and intensity in practice this week as the team preps for round 2, man?
Well, and that's something that's been vital to our success, is just our preparation.
Yeah.
And going into my third season here, really, really proud of how our boys have adopted that mindset.
Yeah.
The game is won well before kickoff.
Yeah.
And so they understand how vital preparation and how vital a mentality and an attitude is during the preparation.
Yeah.
To make sure that we have a chance to be successful.
Yeah.
And not only that, I'm really proud of our boys have enjoyed, and I've seen them growing closer together, and just, my office is right by the locker room, and sometimes they get too loud, and then sometimes I'll catch myself, because I want those guys to enjoy that locker room.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's some of the funnest times I remember.
Yeah.
Being on the bus on the way home, being in the locker room after a hard practice.
Yep.
Being in the locker room early in the mornings before a hard practice. Those guys are cutting up and having fun with each other. And so that has been encouraging to hear while we're, in week really 13, when you include a bye.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I'm glad you're talking about locker room, Coach, because, man, that's everything. I mean, like, the game's one thing. Don't get me wrong, the game is what it's all about, but in that locker room, that's the true litmus test of the health of your team, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You hear about, he's good for the locker room, or I don't know if you want him in your locker room. That's a big deal. That's a culture where the culture really starts, so it's cool to hear you kind of talk about that. So, all right, Coach, I'm going to give you the camera here. Final thoughts to the Patriot Nation as we host Bessemer City this Friday, man. Let them know.
It's going to be a great 4-quarter game again.
Yeah.
And so each week our boys are working hard to represent this community the right way.
Yep.
And so please come out and support our guys 7 o'clock Friday night at Patriot Stadium against a really good Bessemer City team. And so I look forward to seeing everybody there. Thank you for your support. See you Friday night.
There you go. I'm going to leave it at that. There you go.
I'm Granger Shook, head football coach for your Pike Road Patriots. I want to give a big thank you to the shops at East Chase, Montgomery's premier shopping destination, for supporting Pike Road football and sponsoring Patriot Weekly. Just like we bring our best to the field every Friday night, East Chase brings the best in shopping, dining, and family fun to our community.
Check out all the stores East Chase offers online, and when you visit them, thank them for supporting your Pike Road Patriots.
Go Patriots!
All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up another edition of Patriot Weekly. A huge thank you to Coach Shook, Jordan Holmes, and Braylon Outlaw for joining us tonight. Special thanks to Dogwood Media Solutions for hosting us right here in their studio, and to my friend Brian Harris, who produces and edits Patriot Weekly each and every week. Of course, our sponsors, Brantley Bank and the shops at East Chase, thank you for supporting Pike Road Athletics. Don't forget, our Patriots are right back home this Friday night, taking on Bessemer City at 7 p.m. The Pike Road Live crew will be there broadcasting on NFHS Network, but trust me, nothing beats being there in person under those lights. For Patriot Weekly, I'm Bill Lacomb, and we'll see you at the game. Go Patriots!